Assalomu alaykum aziz o'quvchilar. Demak, speaking darslarimiz davom etadi va bugungi mavzuyimiz Ielts Speaking Assistant'dan 28-mavzu part 2, part 3 savollarini ko'rib chiqamiz. Va demak, part 2 savolimiz quyidagicha ekan. Describe an occasion when you got stuck in a traffic jam. Xo'p, traffic jam nimaligini bilmaganlar uchun ozgina eslatma. Traffic jam bu tirbandlik, ya'ni mashina tirbandligi. Mana shu mashina tirbandligida qolib ketgan vaqtingiz haqida gapiring deyapti. Va savolimiz, where you went, qayerga borgansiz, how often you do this, qanchalik tez qilib turasiz bu ishni, va when you did this and why you dislike it. Qachon qilgansiz shu ishni va nima uchun bu sizga yoqmagan. Mana shunaqa demak ma'nodagi cue card va men o'sha nimaga mavzuga 2 daqiqa gapirishga harakat qilaman. Demak, ozgina sizlarga ssenariyni tushuntirib bersam, ya'ni o'tgan yili adashmasam o'tgan yil edi shu paytda bo'layotgan voqealar. Ya'ni 9-may xotira qadrlash kuniga bag'ishlangan parad o'tkazildi va bu parad o'tkazish paytida yo'llar bekitib qo'yildi va odamlar ish joyiga, shu jumladan men ham ish joyimga vaqtida yetib bora olmadim. Mana shu voqea haqida gapirib bermoqchiman ushbu videoda. So, describe an occasion when you got stuck in a traffic jam degan mavzuga gapiraman. Okay, demak soatni qo'yib olsam, tak. So I want to talk about the time when I had to spend a huge amount of time in traffic jam, and usually it would take me around 40 minutes to get from my house to my workplace. When I lived in the countryside, I would drive a car, and usually I would spend around like half an hour, 40 minutes to get to my workplace. But on that day, on 9th of May, last year, it took me around like 2 hours to get to my work. And the reason was actually the national holiday. On the 9th of May, we celebrate the Day of Memory, remembering the soldiers who died in the Second World War. It's a national holiday, and so, you know, as I was approaching the city, I realized that there were many cars in the traffic jam. And first I didn't realize what was happening, and then someone told me that it's actually being a parade. Parade is being held, and they decided to block the roads, and we had to use other ways to get to my workplace. And the worst thing is that was my education center, my workplace was located in the city center, and there was no way to get to my workplace by car because all the roads were blocked to the city center because they were having this parade in the city center. So I spent like half an hour sitting in the traffic jam, and then I decided that the best idea would be to leave my car on the side of the road and to walk. So it would take me around 20 minutes to walk. So I left my car on the side of the road, locked it, and then I just decided to walk. And then I reached my workplace in about like 20 minutes. But the problem was that other people who were supposed to come on time were also late because they were also using same public transport. So it wasn't really a great day for me because I myself was late. I don't really like being late, and my students were also late. And I think this is really a big it has a really big negative impact on the economy of the city as well, because many people are late, and then they're simply not able to work and make money. And I think that the government should think twice before having this kind of huge scale parade. I'm not really against having a this holiday and celebration, but I think it would be better to keep it in a small scale. Okay, that's it. Demek ozgina 2 minutdan oshib ketib qoldi. So I tried to manage in 2 minutes, but it was difficult to squeeze it into 2 minutes. But anyway, I think I did quite well. If you liked it, I'm happy. So now let's turn to part 3 questions, and we'll be talking about the same topic, which is coming from Ielts Speaking Assistant questions from the 29th topic. Demek savollar 29-mavzu ekan. Men 28 degandim, adashib ketganim shekilli. Demek 29-mavzu Speaking Assistant'dan savollarga javob beraman. Demek birinchi savolimiz, in what ways can we fix traffic problems? Ya'ni qanday qilib biz trafik muammolarini hal qilishimiz mumkin degan savol. Ya'ni qanday qilib hal qilishimiz mumkin? So well, there are many ways to fix traffic related problems. One way could be encourage the use of bicycles. I think this is one of the best ways to to solve this traffic jam problem, for example, and also the impact of the cars on the environment because they're polluting the air. And so if you encourage the use of bicycles instead of cars, we would definitely solve not just traffic problems but also environmental problems as well. I think we have to build new bike lanes and we should promote the use of bicycles as a means of transportation. Now, keyingi savolimiz. Do you think building more roads will make getting around in cities easier? Yani ko'proq yo'l qurish o'sha harakatni osonlashtiradimi deyapti. No, I don't think that building more roads will make it easier for people to commute. One reason is because more roads, it has been actually proven scientifically that more roads will induce more traffic. So more people will start using their cars, and as more people start using the cars, the worse the situation will get. So we'll have more traffic jams, and air pollution will also worsen. So I don't think that building new roads is the solution. Okay, keyingisi, what needs to be improved in public transport? Now, I don't know the situation in other countries. Well, actually, I know. When I studied in Sweden, I knew that I found out that public transport is really great way to move around in the city because it was always on time, it was reliable. And talking about my country, Uzbekistan, I think we can improve a lot. First of all, we have to have a timetable for transportation. It's interesting that the public transportation doesn't have a timetable that people can know beforehand when the bus would come and how much time it would take. And also we could have an application which would allow people to know about the kinds of public transportation they can use and the destinations that they can get to by using this public transportation. Okay, so which mode of transport is more popular in the country, a bicycle or a car? Now, the most popular type of transportation in my country is a car, unfortunately, because it pollutes the air, it creates traffic jams, it results in accidents. I'm an avid lover of bicycles. I cycle to work myself, and I think bicycle is one of the great ways. Cycling is one of the great ways to solve the problems related with cars. How can transport be improved in your country? Now, I told you about this before, okay, and I can mention it again. First of all, we should have a reliable timetable, and we should also increase the types of public transportation and the numbers as well, and the quality as well, because there is a huge demand and people want to use public transport. And if you see the public transport, if you observe public transport, people stand there like sardines, like packed in like sardines. But we don't have like very reliable schedule, and also we don't have, in terms of numbers, enough buses. And it would be also a great idea to build underground. So because the population of my city is huge, is the second, I think, in Uzbekistan, and I think it would be a great idea to build underground way as well. Now, is it fair to limit the use of private cars? Now, you might think like, yeah, everyone has a right to drive a car, and it would be unfair to deprive of people who always wanted to drive a car. But we also have to think about the consequences of our actions, and if it's not in the interest of the public, I think it's fair, because we want to live in a clean, safe environment. And one way, and actually one of the greatest hazards to those safety and pollution is actually cars. And I think it's very well justified to limit or to ban even cars, especially in city centers, because we want to have fresh air. We don't want to be breathing the polluted air from as a result of private cars. We also want to have safety. I don't want any fatal conditions. So I think it's okay to limit the use of private cars. Next question: will there be fewer people using cars because of improved public transportation? Definitely. If the government can offer high quality public transportation, many people will definitely switch to this mode of transportation, because private transportation is usually expensive. You have to pay for the gasoline, you have to pay taxes and parking fees, and lots of other fees, related to maintenance, to insurance, and it would be very convenient for people to use public transportation as long as it can be reliable, as long as it works, as it works on time. I think, yeah, people would probably switch to public transportation. The next question is, will there be fewer cars if public transportation is free? I think, yeah, definitely. Making public transportation free is one of the best ways to reduce the number of cars. And actually, I think this has been practiced in some European countries. I'm not really sure about the name of the country, but they do have free public transportation system, and I know that the use of cars is very, very small, because public transportation is reliable, it's free, and people can travel wherever they like. So I think there is not much reason to own a car if you have very reliable public transportation. Do you think that modern means of transportation cause harm to the environment? Well, I would say most of them. Now, of course, we now have electric cars, and we are making steps to changes, of course, and in the future maybe most of the cars will become electric, and there will be very little pollution emitted from these cars. But in general, if you think about most of the cars, the general situation is that we do have the situation when cars use fossil fuels. They run on gasoline, and it certainly emits lots of pollution into the air. So yeah, I think that most of the transportation causes a lot of harm to the environment. Okay, demək, mənim işlərdən ibarətdir videomuz. Part 2, part 3 sorulara cavab verib çıxdım. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon. Take care.